Muchas gracias, Alani. Ahora es el tiempo de Josías. Josías va a predicar en inglés. Aquí dejamos que los niños predicaran en el idioma mejor que ellos se sintieran, así que él va a predicar en inglés.
Good morning. Have you ever had to give a talk in church? Imagine that you had to stand in front of an angry mob and tell why you love Jesus. How do you think you would feel? Would you trust that God will let you know what to say? See Acts 21:17-22. Paul's last missionary trip had come to an end. He had reached Jerusalem at Passover time. The first morning, Paul and his fellow travelers reported to James and the other elders. They wanted to share the news of God's blessing on their work in the many cities they had visited. They also had offerings from the believers in those cities to help the work in Jerusalem. One day, as Paul was visiting in the temple, some Jews from another city recognized him. "Men of Israel," they shouted, "help! This is the man who talks against the people of Israel, the law, and the temple. He does it everywhere he goes. He has even brought Gentiles into the temple to defile it." A crowd gathered quickly. Angry hands dragged Paul out of the temple. The crowd grew angrier and angrier as they hauled Paul away as if to stone him. They drew the attention of Roman guards who rushed to find out what was happening. As the Roman soldiers got close to Paul, the people drew back from him. The captain ordered the soldiers to carry Paul to the Roman headquarters until he could figure out what was going on. "May I speak to you?" Paul spoke calmly and politely to the captain in perfect Greek as they started into the headquarters buildings. The captain replied with surprise, "Aren't you the Egyptian terrorist who has 4,000 men out into the desert to overthrow the government?" "No," Paul smiled. "I am a Jew from the well-respected city of Tarsus in Cilicia. Could I please speak to the people outside?" The captain, surprised, granted his request and they stopped on the stairs. Paul turned toward the crowd. The people started to quiet. Paul now talked in Arabic to the people who had been trying to kill him. "I am a fellow Jew," he began. "I was educated right here in Jerusalem. I became a member of the Sanhedrin and persecuted the followers of Jesus." He told them how he had been converted, how his own proud heart had been won by the crucified Messiah. There was a power to the story of his personal experience. The people listened to this key witness for Jesus, the Messiah. Paul continued with the story. When he finally got to the place where God has given him a vision to take the Messiah message to the Gentiles, the listening Jews erupted. "Take him away! Kill him! He doesn't deserve to live!" they screamed. The surprised Roman captain ordered the soldiers to take Paul up the stairs and beat him until they could find out what he had done. Almost instantly, the soldiers had Paul upstairs, stripped from the waist up, and tied to posts and ready to be flogged. Finally, Paul got the attention of the centurion. "Isn't it against the law for you to flog a Roman citizen who hasn't been convicted of a crime?" he asked politely. "Stop!" cried the centurion, running from the captain. "This man claims to be a Roman citizen," he gasped. "We'd better be careful what we do to him." The captain joined the centurion and returned to where Paul was. tie. Are you really a Roman citizen? He asked. Yes, I am, Paul replied. It cost me a lot of money to buy my citizenship. The captain confided as he handed Paul back his outer robe. I was born a citizen, Paul answered again. The captain called a guard. Remove his robes and show him to one of the rooms downstairs. I've got to find out what this is all about. Alone in a guarded room, Paul thought over the events that had taken place since he arrived back in Jerusalem. He didn't know exactly how this would all come out, but he was glad that once again God had given him an opportunity to share his story with so many different people. He knew that God had done for him, made him a key witness of God's goodness in sending Jesus as the Messiah. He would continue to testify about God's grace as long as he could, in Aramaic, in Greek, and chains if necessary.